Okay, sorry.
All right, guys, we are live, episode 55. We have Bryon Lambe, avid fisherman, videographer, and much, much more, but also a local fisherman to Southern California.
Cheers.
Loves fishing, is stoked on it, but best of all, Fishbone Magazine, which
Woo!
is a huge, huge, and a lot of fun. So that's what we're diving into today.
Sweet.
So
Well,
back
Brian, welcome.
back here, I
Thank you.
have my Fish O magazines. Where can I pick up my Fishbone magazine?
Dude, just hit me up. DM Fishbone on Instagram, or you could go to the website. On the website, we got some koozies and some shirts, and the rest of ish released one, and then
You
release
know,
will be up there soon.
I totally purchased my issue on Fishbone website. Totally forgot you guys even had a website, or I would have put that down. I will come back and I will add that to the description for anyone that's interested.
By the
Oh,
way, my issue is signed by all the real happy guys,
yeah.
You know what?
which is pretty freaking legit. Big shout outs to Real Happy, by the way.
Where's your issue?
Hold on, I'm
I
gonna show
gotta
you.
find mine. My thing is, my issue is very nicely stored away right now so that nothing happens to it, because I know in 5, 10, 15 years these are going to be like every other magazine in the industry, and it's going to be very sought after. It's going to be art, and that's what I'm here for.
Well, that'd be pretty sweet.
That would be pretty sweet, man.
Yeah, yeah, we got to get you one back there, Luke.
Yeah, I gotta get on that.
Well, the second one will be coming out at the end of this year. It's pretty much done. I got all the pages filled, so
Nice.
The
Looking forward to it.
One of the things that I appreciate about people and their craft is that the people that tend to do it and produce a product that is on their own timeline, it tends to be better and a little bit more methodical and just overall more pleasant, rather than the people like, oh, I gotta push something out this week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see you like, no, we got the first one. I'm building the second one. We're gonna make sure that it's flawless and then out there, and I'm stoked on it.
yeah, hell yeah, thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. You know, you take more time, you care about it, um, and it's just I know like for me, it's like I have so many ideas and I want to push it out like quicker, but at the same time, it's like it's a side thing, you know, and
Yeah.
it's my I guess my creative outlet that doesn't get messed with. So I can
Yeah.
just do it all the time and it's peaceful and no one could like mess with it, you know. So yeah, there's a lot of truth to that for sure.
Adrian says
So
he's on his way to MDR for a foot patrol session. You guys didn't tell him there's no fish in MDR?
Well,
there's no fish.
I just typed that in the chat. It's super low right now. Joe from Los Angeles Anglers, I probably butchered that too. Fish this morning. He landed a couple, but it was like 4 fish in the last 30 minutes of like a 4 hour session. So the bite is something that you got to work on. So, Adrian, best of luck. I do wish you from the bottom of my heart that you catch fish and then come tell me so that I know when to go back out. Because right now I'm just waiting for
Right?
the bite to turn on.
So Brian, have you fished? I know you guys went to Catalina, or maybe Catalina, right?
Yeah,
Recently.
probably like 4 weeks ago, I think. It was a super fun trip. We spent like half the day looking for tuna out there in the grounds, but it was like we just spend that time and not get anything, or you know for sure the island's biting. So we kind
Yeah.
of just went for the fun, you know, instead of just hunting. But
Do you guys get on any yellow? Yeah, you guys got on yellowtail, right?
yellows, yeah, I caught one on surface iron on a
Oh,
kicker,
nice.
and it's pretty
Which
sweet.
one?
Uh, oh, I don't know, man. I don't know the names. I just throw
I just go out there and throw.
It's like, yeah, I just, you know, I look at stuff and I'm like, this looks like it'd get bit, so I just throw it. But no, it's pretty cool because my brother, you know, he way more fishier than me. He fishes like crazy, and he's like, I never got a yellow at cat on a surface iron. So I was just stoked to do that before he did. It's one of the
That's
very
cool, man.
I was gonna say I've never got one there either.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. I saw like 3 of them chase it, and I was like, it's on right now. Tracy was already hooked up, and I was like, it's hot right now. So I threw it in the right place, the right time. They chased it down, got one.
Yeah.
My brother,
I feel like yellows at cat are nice. They're like kind of like a nice treat for sure.
it's definitely a treat. I was stoked.
I haven't gotten one in years. I got 2 off a cattle boat a while back. Nothing crazy, but I don't throw the iron enough. But that is one of my goals, is to just start throwing it more and getting a little bit more proficient, but also just catching fish on it. Because all I got is like barracuda on the iron, maybe some bonita.
Which is still fun.
That's what
Yes,
I was gonna say. It was
absolutely,
still fun.
absolutely.
And
It was
now,
still fun.
Cuda are going crazy right now too. And it's like sometimes it's a bit annoying, you know. You're just trying to get through some things, and calico are biting really well, and the Cuda were too. But I don't know. I kind of got addicted to throwing like weedless across the top.
Dude, it's so fun.
Oh my gosh, seen them blow up right off the
It's
top.
so fun.
They'll come like 2-3 feet from the boat and just smash it.
Now,
Annihilate it.
I know we've referenced it a million times, but the kicker video and the underwater footage that they have of just like the calico coming up and eating it, that is just so much fun. And I love the thing about Catalina is the water is super clear, so you can really just see them. Like the last time, like Luke and I were there, you just be like, oh, there's an absolute school following whatever I'm throwing.
The water turned brown behind the boat. We had so many. So we went out with a scoop of live bait. And whatever bait was dead in the tank, I had shears and I was chunking it. So we were chunking out behind the boat, and the water just turned brown with calicos.
That's
It was like this is nuts.
Yeah, nothing ginormous, but it's
No.
really fun to see just that many fish in one area. Redondo Beach, right in front of the Redondo Special, they have like a bird feeder. It's actually a gumball machine that they have fish food in. And I mean, you put a quarter in, you grab your fish food, and you throw it in the water. All the perch, all the opali, all the sargo, and then as it drifts down a little bit more, you just see a bunch of these little calico just coming out, and it's so much fun.
That's right.
Dude, I love just watching fish.
Yeah, there's like when we were kids, like, well, not super little, but when we would go to the island, my dad had a mooring over there, so we'd go anchor up, and Cody and I would just go swim down, and you swim down like 5-10 feet, and you could just see every type of fish down there. Like, you don't realize it from the top that how many different species are there, but you just look around, it's like, you know.
How old were you guys?
I don't know, like 15, 16, you know?
Did you do any spear fishing or just diving?
I've never done spear fishing. I want to. It looks fun.
Dude, I
Never done
It
that.
looks so cool.
It looks so
exactly. That's my feel about it. Is it looks so cool, but I appreciate other people doing it to where it's like, you know what? Kudos to you. I don't think I could. Like, my imagination runs absolutely rampant, and I went night snorkeling for lobster, and I mean the amount of adrenaline off of fear of like something that I'm not going to be able to see like right here.
Well, you did it
because
at
the
night.
water's dirty, huh?
You did it at night. I think in the day it would be better.
No, I don't think, honestly, I don't think it's going to be.
You think it'll be worse?
Yeah, but honestly, yeah. I mean, you still can only see this far ahead of you.
Yeah,
so the
yeah,
fact that the first sight of something that I'm going to see is going to be right here. My imagination is. I mean, I just. that's like the only thing I can say about it.
Yeah,
I respect people that do it.
Did you do any fishing this weekend, Daniel?
Yes, I did. I took a trip to the Long Beach, San Pedro area. I got driven around in circles, mind you. This, I mean, Joe was like, turn left, turn right, up, down, right, left, B, B, X, Y. We're driving through
So your
fences.
video looked pretty fun.
And
Yeah.
it's a ton of fun. We actually had to work at it because the first location, I mean, Joe's an absolute stick. He got like 2 croakers, a halibut, and a spotted bay bass. The first spot. I got a spotted bay bass the second spot, and then it was kind of a struggle. The third spot, managed to catch a couple of like sand bass, and then like right before we left, I was like, "All right, let's go hit the point one more time. We're gonna do it." Like that seems like the best bet right now. So we walked back out there, and honestly, a school of sand bass were swimming through or something because we landed like 6 sand bass in 10 minutes. It was so much fun. I'm out there like screaming.
What about you, Luke?
I was down for the count this weekend, so no fishing, but worked on some t-shirt designs, so we'll see when I'm going to do another drop. And in the meantime, I got my shirts up for sale on the Waterman's Collective site. Code BassDaddy15 to get that 15% off. Actually, you know what? I think that ended. We're in a new month now, aren't we?
Oh, you're right. We are in a new month.
I don't have a code. Yeah, just personally contact Waterman's, let them know I said the code's still good for one more day.
Technically, there's 3 more days.
But we had the rod building book out, doing some brainstorming with Grant on some new ideas with Waterman's. Finished building my new fly rod, and now I'm currently fixing one of my dad's Phoenixes.
Nice.
So, even though I was down and out in the water, got a lot of fishy stuff going.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Brian, have you ever done any fly fishing?
No, I just watched that video Luke out there at the oil rigs with the calicos. That looks so fun. I'll tie it on, just throw them like up in like Bishop and stuff, and just throw it on like a trout rod or whatever, just to screw around. But nothing like that. What's nice about it is from everyone I've talked to, they're like, this is as hard as it gets. So next time I go somewhere like Bishop, I'm not too worried about having to use a fly rod.
Dude, this is what Luke's doing right now. He's stroking his ego.
Well, no, I'm not good. I'm really good at hitting myself with the fly. Like I've actually hooked myself in the back of the head.
That video
blood everywhere.
Sent, it was insane. You could just hear it go, ah, and he's like, ah.
I've got him stuck in me before where I'm like, hey, bro, you got to stop fishing and come get this. I can't get it out of myself.
Yeah,
But
I actually took fly fishing merit badge as a Boy Scout.
Oh, wow.
I got the merit badge. I don't think the good thing about the merit badge is you don't actually have to catch anything. You just have to be proficient in the skills.
So you don't have to catch a fish. You just got to know how to do it.
You got to build a fly.
I think we had to. I'm not sure.
Brian, were you a Boy Scout?
No. I was like, damn, I should have done that, because I'm like, I've got the beard. I look like I'm coming from the mountains, anyways.
You got to come out fishing with us, and I'll show you some knots, and I'll just throw out some names for you. That'll be it. That's all you need to know, anyways.
The fun truth about the Boy Scouts is it's not as outdoorsy and adventurous as you would think. It's almost like D&D for people that want to do outdoorsy stuff. They're like, we're all going to get together and have a meeting and talk about outdoorsy stuff.
I like how you're like,
yeah, I never camped.
Want to go outside, but D&D
I never camped as a Boy Scout.
Want to go outside. Just
well, no, like
like
if you tell some guys who play D&D, let's go have a real adventure, they're like, nah, let's play a game about having the adventure.
Yeah, I never went camping. I never.
Boy Scouts was a ripoff. I think we went camping like once in the 2 years I did it.
In the basketball gym to a school.
I was just gonna
That
say we
sounds
all
like
camped in like a barn.
that's an ish you and not an ish me. No,
Dude, that's funny.
Well, then I didn't need Boy Scouts because I was always camping and stuff.
Exactly. You were too busy. You were too busy doing.
Oh yeah.
yeah. The fun part about my Boy Scout troop, it was actually just built up of like all my friends. Because all the dads already were taking us camping and going fishing and all that stuff. And then they were like, oh, all of our boys are like 12, 13. Let's all right, we'll just make this official and make it a Boy Scout. So almost everybody at like my age and my friend groups became Eagle Scouts. And then we're like, all right, well, we did it.
But you
there's-
also had cool trips growing up, bro. You know, you did a lot of stuff that people didn't do growing up.
You're absolutely right, Charlie. And if you want to talk about that, that will be on a separate podcast.
But
Somebody invite me on and I'll talk about it.
just talk about how Daniel went to awesome trips.
I'll tell you how I held the crocodile, almost got eaten by a crocodile. You know, all the trips.
So, Bryon, I want to touch back on what you were talking about earlier when you said Fishbone is kind of what you get to do without people telling you what to do.
Yeah. So,
And that resonated with me a little bit because I'll put out paintings like, I'll put up like 5 for sale once every year or so. And it's for the same reason. I just, art becomes not fun when people start critiquing it and
Dictating.
start giving too much of their input. So I want to hear about a little bit more about like what you're doing and what's freeing about it.
Well, I mean, I work in video production, so mainly work in post-production doing video editing and graphics. And a lot of the times, 90% of the time, when I cut something together, my art that I built within there, whether it be graphics flying in or, something subtle with sound effects or a transition, what have you, in the end, when it gets to like the producer, the director, the network, a lot of that just gets torn down. You know what I mean? Then I have a watered down version of what I was doing, so it doesn't really come across as my full creative intention in that edit. So with Fishbone, it's like I've always been doing like graphic design and t-shirts and whatever, and this is kind of my way of being able to do what I want, and no one could tell me, take this off, put this here, tone this down, drop the opacity. It's like none of that. It's all my creative vision. So
how often do you think you're dealing with someone who's telling you what to do, not because they think they have a better vision, but because they want to just feel like they're rubbing their stuff on it, like they want to feel like they're part of the process?
That's all the time, and I think a lot of people do that because they want to feel creative too, but instead of them doing it, it's like, hey, I have this great idea, and it's like, okay, that's your idea though.
Yeah. Do you find that happening to you, Luke?
Yeah, well, not so much the people I work for now, but the people I used to work for. I remember my buddy would start going up, and right at 5 feet on the door frame, he'd take a little scraper and chip a piece of wood off, so that they would walk in and be like, hey, that needs to be fixed. And if we didn't do that, they'd walk in and be like, ooh, I think we need to change the color. But if you gave them something to correct, you control what was being corrected.
Before. Yep. I've had a producer where they're like super anal about audio. So they'll nitpick something and say, turn it down 2 decibels. And I won't touch it yet. And they're like, that sounds great. I'm like, I didn't even get there. But I'll put different sections up higher so that becomes their balance. You kind of, it comes with
turn it in without the gain fix. Just to, like, we need to fix that anyway, but now they've got something to nitpick.
Yeah. There's certain,
but one of the things that I like when approaching artists is, how did you find your medium? Have you always liked magazines? Have you always wanted to go into like making magazines? What was your did it accidentally happen? Did it pull you in, or were you like, all right, magazines, running with it, let's go?
Well, for as a kid, I always collected Thrasher magazine, skateboard magazine, Surfer. I would have Juxtapose. So I always had like this, this kind of affinity for print, and I loved about some magazines is the tearaway posters, so that you could put up on your wall. So like I'm trying to bring that nostalgic back into print because there's not a lot of that out there.
Is there a tearaway poster in Fishbone?
Not the first issue.
Okay, I was gonna say, man, I'm gonna need to get 2 of them then.
One to rip and one to keep intact.
I used to do that with Surfer magazine.
Yes, exactly.
I did it with
I get 2 surfers, one to tear and one to read.
Exactly. Yep. And so that's kind of what I kind of want to bring back, because there's not a lot of it. It's all kind of digital nowadays, and I don't know. There's just so much so many ideas I have for the magazine that I kind of want to see come to fruition. And, tearaway posters is one of them. Like in the first release, there's crutches. So when you roll up your cigarettes, that you have a little crutch in there. And it's kind of what I used to do when I was, smoking. I would go to magazines and get a subscription and tear it off to make my filter crutch. So I was like, why not make one purposely for the magazine? It's kind of brings back again my whole
nostalgic feeling.
I think that's an awesome bit of creativity that you're like, this is what I did, which, mind you, this other people must have also been doing. So the fact that you're like, that's something that I want to bring over, but as like a branded situation, like a branded item, I thought that was ingenious, by the way.
Thank you.
I love the little details of that.
That's what matters to me, is the little stuff.
The little things.
Like right now, I mean, when growing up, there's not a lot of fishing magazines that really represented, the actual fishing community, where we're out shore pounding, we're out there with all the homies going down here and, going through the riverbed and, going down to the docks and kind of getting really grungy with it,
It's always really like clean, right? People on a boat.
Cars trying to chase down marlin. You know what I mean? So it's like
it's a bunch of dudes in khakis and polos, and they've got ventilated shirts and And if anyone wears any of that and they're taking offense, I'm sorry. I have some of it too for when I'm traveling, but
no, take offense.
The point being,
let's be real. It's whack. No,
yeah. We like to make hard stances and real opinions on here. That's what.
Well,
that's
I think if you want to say Gorilla, if you want to say Gorilla magazine, I think Fishbone takes the win, right? Like everything that you don't see in a magazine, you see it in Fishbone magazine.
That's the point. It's
that's what resonated to me. I was like, dude, you got a tuna that looks faded. You got a dude in a boat with like full of cans, but he's fishing out there. That's
I hasn't been there in San Diego.
I wasn't gonna tell this story, but now I'm feeling left out. We were driving home from PCS, and Charlie's like, "Look what I got," and I'm like, "They had that there, and you didn't tell me."
First of all, I did tell you.
I'm going to be honest with you. Charlie's notorious for that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that I like to keep secrets?
No, I gotta sit up for this.
Not
Charlie,
keep secrets you don't share.
Charlie, you're a fun person. People like hanging out with you, and
they call you Fun Charlie.
Hey, you're also easy to like hang out with. So I feel like you end up in these little cuts in the back, like the little holes in the wall of like people's shops. And they're just like, oh, hey, here's this. Oh, I saw so-and-so. We hung out. We were, just chilling in the back of a booth. And then you tell Luke and I these stories, and we're like, where were we?
Yeah, I was there.
Charlie will just disappear for like an hour and be like, hey, where'd you go? Oh, you're not going to believe it. I was just talking to so-and-so. We just had a blast. I got his number. I got his Instagram.
First of
I
all,
invited him to dinner.
Cody, I talked to Cody the night before, and I was like, "Hey, save me a magazine because I'm gonna go pick it up." He was at the Real Happy booth the whole
So
day.
this was
right?
premeditated.
So I'm like, "Go," So then I get there,
First of
and
all, I knew about this a day ahead of time.
And I still
that
didn't
doesn't
tell
make
you
it any
guys
better.
about it.
All right, whatever. That doesn't make it any better. I'm trying to no.
Yeah, you're just digging yourself a deeper hole.
But when I saw it come out, I mean, you had already started the page, right? That picture you did with the tuna and the lady, the original photo you posted, I was like, what the hell is this? This looks sick.
Mind you, this I actually have my PCS ticket in the magazine.
Charlie, can you show us that picture right now?
Which one? Oh, is it on the magazine? I don't know if it's in the magazine.
I think I just made stickers of it.
Yeah, I think
I know, but this is what Charlie was talking about. He got the Real Happy people to sign the Real Happy page. Mind you, this I'm going through here, and I'm like, I don't know why I haven't stopped Lane for an autograph yet. And I'm gonna need to get everybody's autograph per page.
Well, this is the one. This is the one I was talking about earlier, and it says California Department of Fish and Bus Life, and there's some dude in a boat with like a bunch of beer. But it's a really cool picture. He did this lady. Who is that lady? Is there like some random lady?
Her name is Miss Jackson. That's what it says on the back of the photo. The photo came from an old tackle shop that my brother worked at that's no longer in business. And we got some photos from there. And that was one of them that I just kind of picked out.
What was the shop called?
I can't name it because we took all photos. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, funny. Dude,
You're like,
I
no.
love the sticker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one. Dude. Yeah. I don't have that sticker.
Well,
I don't know.
What I want to know is, are you also doing the design work on here? Because there's a lot of design work that goes
That's all
into
Bryon,
this.
man. That's all Bryon.
That's the
Dude, I love your creativity. I love your style. It's just so easy to get like drawn into it. And then I could sit here and be like, oh my God, look at that. That's so awesome.
So there's one cool thing. You said something earlier. You said there's digital right now. It's all digital. But there's something about holding something in your hand, right?
Charlie, thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
So a lot of art and design right now is based upon minimalistic. And it's like, how can we fit,
Is it your birthday or something?
Amount. Yeah, I just got balloons.
It's for your wife's birthday.
Yes, it is my wife's birthday. So happy birthday, Sherry. I magically got balloons up here somehow.
Digital balloons.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's fun. And there's this big draw to like bringing back that like punk, that grunge, just a lot of that old feel to things, because you're just like, man, everything's just gone super like minimalistic to where it's like a background color and then just the simplest like font
Which
of
is
something, and that's it.
I know this guy that likes T-shirts with like small little pieces on their pocket. Minimalist.
It's clean.
But no, but
clean.
so I like this is like I like the whole like feeling, I like seeing stuff, like I like holding things. I mean, on the phone is very different, man.
Yeah.
I don't own it, right? It's like it's out there and it could be deleted tomorrow, right?
It's like what Luke said. It's like you buy 2 copies, one so you can cut stuff out, put it on your wall for inspiration, and you kind of like immediately that's what I thought of. Like I want people to cut things out to like, maybe put it in a collage or put it on your wall to where it gets you pumped up to go out and like, I don't know, like just watching.
I got a bunch of hidden spots in the room where I've got all the cutouts.
Yeah. See?
And then I got some down here too. I don't know if you can see it, but
yeah,
that would actually be a really fun canvas piece, is to almost take all the pages and then like collage them together and then have really big fishbone over it somehow. That'd be sick.
That's kind of like what the centerfold is. It's like you
Yeah.
take the staples out and take it out. It's 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 the size of a sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11, but it's like meant to be put on the wall.
Exposed.
But there's
Now, did you have any difficulties with magazine making? 'Cause I have no idea the process behind it, so I'm really intrigued on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I bought this expensive ass printer thinking I was going to print everything myself. Bought this card stock from fucking New York. It comes over here and turns out it's laser printer instead of inkjet. And then I'm trying to print it out, and I'm going to Staples. No one has this card stock. I bought this side saddle stitch stapler, and I put like 3 of these magazines together, sent them off to I think Lane and Kyle Credo, and because they were the first ones in it, and they're like, "Oh, this looks sweet," and then I was like, "No, it doesn't." Like I'm going to a print shop. Like I redid it, went to a print shop, had them all printed off, resent them, and they're like, "Yeah, this is 20 times better." It's like it's a lot, you go through a lot of ink, but it's it's a learning curve, and I kind of wanted to, kind of test it out myself, So
Yeah.
And
so, are you planning to do stuff on your own, or are you still gonna go with the print shops?
No, I'm gonna go with the print shop still.
There's a lot to be said in doing it yourself. I tried to make stickers, which I poorly successfully did, if that makes sense. But the amount of time that goes into it, you're like, somebody else can do this for a fraction of the cost, a fraction of the time, and it's going to turn out better than what I did.
Well, not only that, but when it comes to like print, the machines they have access to are so much better than what we could even fathom buying.
Right. Yeah.
Like when you talk about your expensive print machine, they're like, that's too cheap for us to have. Like, well, no, I just like even like my vinyl cutter is a really nice vinyl cutter, but if you go to a print shop, theirs is probably 6 times more expensive than mine, and mine's still on the end where like most people would not have that in their home. It's too because mine's already moving towards industrial. It's just cheap industrial compared to what an actual shop's using.
What's funny is mine is a Cricut that's like a 12 by 12, which means it's like really 14. Where it is? There it is. 14 by like 3 inches, just so I can hold stuff. And then yours holds like a 2-foot slab of.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like yours is a Cricut, which is made for like at-home consumption. Mine is where you move into. This is now industrial. It holds a roll. But it's the low end of industrial. When you go to a print shop, they're going to have one that's quieter and cuts about 6 times faster because they're operating in bulk. So, and I can only assume it's the same thing with printers.
Yeah. I got like it's a prosumer, but it's still not like I didn't spend thousands of dollars on it. I still have to. It'll flip. It'll do both. Double-sided, but then it's like. It gets smeared. It doesn't have the it's fast dry time, and it's just it's you're very limited. It's just a lot more work where they can just bust it out like that.
Yeah.
Dude, I see D-Day in the chat. D-Day, it looks like you were killing it up in PV today.
It was today?
Yeah, I told them to share a little bit. Now, the fun part about publishing that first issue is it kind of I don't know how you feel, but I feel like it would be like, all right, now we can do a second one. And then I feel like it kind of gets the gears turning to where you're like, oh, is there something that I want to base this around? Also, 3, 4, and 5. Like, is there so my question is there a special trip that you're looking to take or a dream fishing situation that you're looking to shoot? So I feel like when somebody has that eye, they're like, oh man, this is how I want to break it down.
Yeah, I have my eye on people that I want to see go out and fish because they're the ones that are living it up, having a good time. And to me, it's all about, having the best time while you're out on the water, not necessarily, not trying to get necessarily the PB every single time, but you might just want to go out and just have a great time.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a trip to Cat for for the weekend. Camp on the beach. Grill up your catches. Like, to me, that's
Dude, what were we just talking about, Charlie?
that's what I want to see. And there's a lot of I don't know. There's a lot of people out there that I'm kind of just like watching, and they're kind of the vibe that I kind of want to put a video together, and also cover it in the magazine. But the video side is, a whole bigger thing that I want to do. So I'm going to start building up gear and everything. Gear meaning like cameras and lights and mics and everything. But there's that side is just a whole nother beast, but which is what I do for a living. So it'll be a little easier, but it's just a lot of work. But there's a lot of ideas that I have that I don't think this next issue or the first issue is really hitting the sweet spot yet. I think, like you said, 4 or 5, it'll kind of be where I want it, because this next issue is a lot more interviews, but it also has guest artwork as well. So
that's cool.
I think a lot of more people that hear about it and want to be a part of it, I think it'll just turn out to be a lot better. The more people that are involved, I think the cooler it could be.
Yeah, 100%. So are you going to keep it that same dimension, or are you planning going bigger?
I like that dimension. I got that idea from a golf magazine. They're kind of doing the same idea, but in the golf world. And I was reading the magazine, and I was like, hold on a second. There's no magazine in the fishing industry that I feel really represents it to how it really is, like I said earlier. But I just kind of like that you can throw it in your back pocket, you can take it on the trip with you. It's not this big bulky thing where you got to put it in your backpack in a divider. It's like, throw it in your pocket. If you're driving to go to a spot, you can just pull it out. You're waiting for boat launching, you know what I mean? You just whip it out right there, and it's not just big and bulky. I think it's just a perfect size. So right now, I just want to keep it that size.
Fits right in your tackle bag.
Exactly.
I feel like it also cuts out fluff. Like, you're not like, oh man, I need so much to fit a page. You're like, no, this is everything that I want and a little bit more. It keeps it precise. It keeps it to the point, and I get to express everything that I want / need in this compact little package.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I learned off the first one. The very first interview I did, we went to the homie spot over here, and we just had some beers, and I just recorded the whole conversation, and I shot myself in the foot with it because it was 2 hours long. And so now I got to go in and edit this whole thing down, and it's just like, this is not the way to do it, and then in like 4 or 5 pages, and it's like, that's too long. I wouldn't want to sit that long through some interviews. Like, I want to get straight to the point, and it's like, we'll just keep it on Instagram. It's easier. That way you can come back when you have time to answer the questions, that way it's all there. We can edit what you said right then and there, and then it's just boom. It's all the information. So it is short and to the point.
Now, do you have any trips that you want to take yourself? Because a lot of what you're saying right now is potentially about filming other people. Are there any scenarios where you're like, this is what I want for myself?
Well, I get this. It's like Charlie was asking for footage of me fishing. I'm like, I'm the one that films. Like, well, in turn, I'm going on the trip. You know what I mean? So if I put this trip together, like, I do have ideas of what I want to do, and it kind of involves a lot, but I'm going on the trip. I'm a part of it. And yes, I'll be fishing when I'm not filming, but the joy of seeing other people catch fish and capturing it, and then later coming and put it together in an edit makes it a lot better, because I'm kind of going through those feelings a couple times. You know what I mean? So there's there's a lot I have kind of planned, and kind of what I want to see within the industry as far as media goes. Because I don't really feel like it's being represented as well as it could be. especially, on television. It's like I kind of feel that fishing is kind of like an action sports. So I do want to see it like on Fuel TV. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Next
I
to
was
skateboarding,
just
surfing, snowboarding. So I do I have some ideas that I kind of want to push towards the television side of things, and I kind of want to push towards, Fishbone, YouTube, and it's just a lot. It's just
now
so much.
hear me out. Hear me out. I was just having this conversation with somebody. It's called destination fishing. We can workshop the name, but the idea is that you travel to these, tourist locations. You do a lot of fishing. You can make the fish in their like local cuisine kind of things, but then you also on top of that can do some other touristy items. So that way it's a little bit balanced between, you get a place to go while fishing, but also you get some other activities too.
Yeah, experience the
We
culture.
could call it local knowledge.
Local knowledge, destination fishing. Dude,
The what?
I'm all about it. I was just having this conversation. I've always loved.
I'm saying there's a show that exists like that already. It's called Local Knowledge.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm gonna go
They're
look it
on
up
like
now.
season 8.
Thank you.
It's done by the guys who own Bloody Decks.
All right, gotta look it up. I didn't know that.
You're going to be very excited.
There's still a lot, there's still a lot that you can incorporate with that, to where it would be different, but at the same time you still kind of get a little bit of that local knowledge, as they would say.
So when we say local, are we talking about like our local fishing or like
That's
everybody's local fishing?
I think it's like local to the place that you went,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool because then you get to dive into what's local there. Yeah, local means right here, but to somebody else, local could mean anywhere else.
I'm telling you, you're going to love this show.
All right, hold on. What is it called?
It's called Local Knowledge. They literally go to a destination, get with some local guys, get some local knowledge, fish, and then go and eat the local cuisine and do some of the local stuff.
All right.
And it's on like season 9.
Hey,
yeah,
hey,
when he just burst
how do
his
I get
bubble.
hired? How do I get hired for this? It sounds amazing.
But yeah, you were talking about how you were like yeah, I don't do as much of the fishing because I'm doing the recording, and that's actually something that we had to kind of deal with was how are we going to do the fishing and the recording?
It's tough.
It is tough.
It's especially tough when your buddies come to help you record and they don't help you record.
Hold on. I'm all about recording. I love recording. All right. I had some hiccups on our trip, Bryon, when we went for the Slay Dirty one. I found myself not recording a lot, but I did. I did catch some stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember going on a trip with Luke, and it was a charter of his, so I kind of helped out, right? And we recorded the whole time.
That was a fun trip.
And
that was a fun trip, and Charly was doing a good job on recording on that trip, and that's one of our better viewed videos.
See what happens, Charly, when you record?
But no, there was like for my boat, we definitely had to we have set up places for cameras to go because it was you start fishing and not recording. So it's like we need to be able to just put this camera here, turn it on, and fish.
Yeah,
it's hard because you gotta remember to hit record. It's too much. Sometimes I don't even like on Catalina trip. We were like, oh, let's film. I sat down with Tracy and got all the GoPros ready.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't film a damn thing.
Yeah.
That's how it goes sometimes.
There's serenity in not filming. I broke my phone a while back, and I was like, man, I kind of want to go fishing, but I don't have a phone to film it. And my wife goes, you used to go fishing before your phone. Why don't you just go fishing and enjoy it? And I was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. I can go fishing without having to film it.
But you know, in the back of your mind, you were like, man, I wish I had my phone.
Yeah, because I'm like, if I catch a 17-inch spotty right now,
Nobody will
I
ever
want
believe me.
documentation. If I catch something massive or insane, I want documentation,
By the
mainly
way,
for myself.
that trip we went on with for Slay Dirty's kayak tournament was fun.
Yeah,
Very fun.
Good time. It was
very fun.
Let's hear about that boat a little, because I was very surprised by the new boat.
Yeah. You guys didn't ask Cody about this?
He hasn't been on. He hasn't been on since the new boat.
Since the new boat he hasn't been on, but
yeah, yes.
Yeah, he was on before the new boat.
It's a he knows a lot more about it. It's his, but it's a Black Man Sport Fisher, and it's fucking sick.
It's a beautiful boat. It's a beautiful boat.
Let me paint a picture of this. Charlie's like, oh, I'm going out with, Fishbone Magazine, Cody, Tracy, Real
And Sophie.
Happy. Huh?
And yeah, Sophie from Real Happy.
Sophie, thank you. Sorry, Sophie, I forgot your name. And I was like, that's a lot of people to go on Cody's boat. I was like, I don't know if anything's changed, but that's counting on my fingers. That's a lot. Seems like a lot for a boat plus a baby. And then, Charlie comes back with all these videos, and I was like, oh, did you guys get a new boat or something? And Charlie's like, oh yeah, it's so sick. They got a new boat. It holds all these people. Everybody was like downstairs, like sleeping and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, that's insane.
Whoa. It's not that nice. Nobody to contact us.
There was charcuterie and a butler downstairs. They had their own, personal chef.
I was fishing the wall, and I see this big, huge boat come up, and I tell my buddy, I go, this kook isn't even going to know how to set that thing up on the wall right. And then he sets the boat up on the wall correctly. I'm like, that's really interesting. And my buddy goes, I think that's Cody's new boat. Pull out the phone, and I'm like, are you on the wall right now? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm that teeny tiny boat behind you.
Dude, let me tell you, we fished the wall, right, Bryon? We fished the wall like later on in the day. We kind of went out outside. Dude, we drifted. We just drifted.
Yeah. He knows
like it was so cool, man. It was so cool. Very fun trip. It wasn't like we were having fun. Like we fished, but we were having fun. We were the emotional support boat. We were like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're some kind of support.
Well, it's just funny because I'm at the wall a lot, and every now and then I'll see a big boat set up out there, and they never do it right. And it was so like when he did it right, it was like, that's really interesting. It was like, oh, I think that's Cody. It's like, okay, this is all making sense.
Yeah. It's a cool boat, man. It's rad. We could go like back and forth to the island like 4 times without filling up. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice.
It's just a really good boat. And
how long does it take you guys to get to the island in that thing?
Like an hour.
Nice.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's about what it takes in my boat.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, no, it's a really nice boat, man. It's very comfortable.
You don't get all the chop in your face, and you're dry back. It's enclosed.
You're hanging out. It's more like hanging out while you're driving back, huh?
Yeah, and it's autopilot, so we're just shooting the shit.
Just cruising.
Nice.
Jeez, you guys have a liveaboard crew on it too? Shoot. Nation flags like in the background fluttering on it. Your own sovereign location.
So what do you when you do short pound, Bryon, what do you like fishing? When you're not on the boat? Like what's your style of fishing?
Just for spotties?
Yeah, like in general.
My wife will go to. My wife loves MDR. Just that little channel right there, and we just go kick back over there. I think she caught her first spotty over there, or maybe it's in Long Beach. But that spot is so fun because Yeah, right now there is no fish, but we and it's really fun. You know, it's just very relaxed, and I don't know, love fishing that spot. We fish Long Beach a lot. Yeah, just spotties all over the place. There's like
Now, I don't think Charlie asked the question correctly.
Okay.
We'll open it up to this. If you could choose anything to fish right now, what would you fish?
species.
Are you trying to say
Anything.
how are you fishing? Like what? Are you,
No,
like
just
because I'm confused too. Are you
All
asking
right,
what
the
he's
thing
fishing
is,
for, or the way in which
I
he's
don't-
fishing?
I don't want to force Bryon into talking about spotties if he's like, no, I want to go fish for bluefin or marlin or yellowtail. So I want him to be like, oh no, my fishing of choice is
What would you prefer to target?
Yeah, what do you prefer to target? What is your, I guess your like, if I'm going fishing right now, I would like to do something.
I'll tell you right now, I want to get drunk as a skunk and go chase bluefin.
Right, in that big boat.
Come on, hell yeah!
Have you guys done that in the boat yet?
The Catalina trip I was telling you about, we were chasing them down.
Did you guys see them?
Yeah, a couple times we pulled up on them and they were gone like that, and then we kind of went out in between. Well, we were off the west end of Cat, and there's some party boats out there, and it's just like how we know they're there. We can see them, but it's just getting over there, and then we might miss them. Like it's like we spent
Were you guys
a day going to chase, and then it's like, well, do we want to keep going? We might get nothing, or just go fish the island, and we know we'll get hooked up there, which is the yellowtail there. So it was worth it in that sense. So to answer your question, like I'd do that again. You know,
so let's go this direction. How do you like to target bluefin?
I've never caught bluefin.
Oh, you've never caught them.
I'm
gonna quickly interrupt you. I'm constantly getting up, and I'm just letting everybody know. I've got this really old pit bull who's gone deaf, and she's found out how to open the door, but she can't get out from the inside. So about 7 or 8 times every show, she lets herself in, gets some pets, and then gets stuck.
You can't get out.
And then gets stuck and scratches at the door.
So let's take it this route. If you had one rod and one bait, what are you choosing to go out? Short pounding.
Short pound for bluefin, of course.
Yeah. You didn't hear the
Dude, a Shimano Colt Sniper with a jig stick, bluefin. Come on, Charlie. Stop trying to gear towards spotties.
From the MDR Canal, Charlie. You didn't hear him? That's his favorite place to go.
Hey.
However, there's not any bluefin swimming in the canal right now. God.
So do you guys have a current bluefin plan? Are you like, oh, we got the Mad Max set up, we got the jig stick set up?
My brother did take the Mad Max. We didn't troll. He's the one that's like, well, we should do this, this, and this. And I just go along with the plan. I'm like, whatever.
Nice.
You know, and let's just get on it. But we weren't really like set up crazy to the T for bluefin. It was just, you know, let's not get a 100-pounder. We don't have the gear for it.
Yeah.
It's like, please don't fucking catch one of those. So
you know what? I was on a boat where jackpot was, I want to say 140 caught on a Tranks 500. I mean, I'm sure a 400 will put a good tuna down.
I'll take a couple of 30-pounders. I don't need anything.
No. I guess what I'm saying is I don't think you need as big a gear as you might think, especially when you're on your own boat and you can chase it a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the difficulty, like Bryon was talking about, is whether or not you want to chase those fish as they like potentially just pop up, disappear, pop up, disappear, and then you're like, oh, we're 40 miles off a Cat right now, and we still got to drive home, and we didn't even catch anything. It was just a rough battle. Just
we spent the day like that once before in my boat, and we ended up doing 90 miles.
That's insane.
It was a cool day though.
It's always a fun story to talk about after the day is finished.
No,
Well, I would
even
say-
during the day when you're watching 200-pound tuna jump out of the water, 40 yards from your skiff, it's like, this is wild.
I will
have to
say-
And we
went
didn't hook into one of them. They were just super boat shy that day. We did get
I
a
would
30-pound
say-
yellowtail though.
Hell yeah.
Seeing Cody, you and Tracy fishing for halibut is very cool, man. You guys, I mean, you guys know what you guys are doing when you guys are fishing for halibut.
I mean, I'll put in the time out there. My brother's
Dude,
commercial fishing for halibut and signed to restaurants and stuff. Feel good fishing, and I'll put in the time out there. It's raining. I don't care. I'll be out there full suited up, just standing there waiting for the bites, man.
but you guys know what you're doing when you guys are fishing for halibut, man. That was pretty cool to see, right? Like it's not just like, oh, let's just throw here and see. Like it's like thought out, right? Like we're gonna go here, we're gonna go there, we're gonna throw this, we're gonna tie this. Charlie, do you want to hold this rod? And it's like, dude, that was sick. And I'm like, nah, man, like it was cool.
Yeah.
So have you guys been doing that for a while already?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you kind of already know the certain spots that, if you caught 10 in this location or 5 in this location, kind of tend to go back to those spots, and if one doesn't work, put in your time there, and if not, move to the next spot. So
I've never really targeted halibut, but I got this little list of spots I've seen Cody repeatedly.
Luke, I think that's cheating.
It's like the technique, right? Like he knows what he's doing, Like I saw you, man. You were just like, you guys were just tying up stuff and rigging up stuff and throwing. You lost the big one that day, dude. That thing was like, and I don't know. I think something happened in the process of the boat or something, and it just popped off. But it was big. I don't know if you remember.
Why? Oh, wasn't that fireball? No
joke.
Just so that's the thing. It's like, oh,
She let herself back in.
But that's the thing. You never know if you're gonna get a huge one, a short one, or whatever. That, to me, that's like the best thing. It's like you're fishing live bait, so you're just dropping down with the trap rig in whatever depth, between 15 to 70 whatever feet of water, and what something catches on, who knows what it's gonna be. The mystery of that is what I love. Even like. I'll tell you what I really like that is very tedious to people, and it's a lot of work, is fishing for rockfish in 600 feet of water and just hooking up doubles and spending the time to crank it up. It's like you think you know what you got, you think you got what you're targeting, but realistically you have no clue. And I think that's what I get excited about, is just throwing on live bait on a trap rig, throwing it out there, and, see what happens.
I've only successfully done that once, and it was pretty awesome.
It's
The
fun.
most frustrating thing about fishing 600 feet is by the time you wind up 300 feet, that, starry eye, that grouper feels like it should be at least 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And you wind it up and it's just 2 small reds on there, and you're like,
you gotta descend them.
Yeah, you're like, I could have left those down for a bigger guy to eat them at that point.
Well, those big ones in the video you sent me, those were pretty big reds.
Yeah, those were huge. That was successful.
Yeah, you
And
tend
it
to
was
get those
double.
big ones too.
Yeah, it takes time to get them up, and it's a workout. But to me, it's like it's worth it if you want good eating, put the time in.
And those reds really are good eating.
Oh, they're delicious, man. Oh my gosh,
Great taco meat.
I love.
Well, it's funny because I'll hear people say calico bass are the best, and calico bass are really good. But those reds were significant. Come on. Those reds were significantly better than calico.
Calicos are good fish. I've never had a red, so I don't know. I don't have anything to compare.
You
So
haven't?
for now, no, I never had reds before.
All right, I'll take you out. We'll go out on the Spitfire. We'll go rock fishing.
He doesn't fish.
I don't.
No, Charlie.
No, Daniel doesn't. He only posts old. He's reposting old content.
You repost. No,
Yeah,
but
I actually haven't fished in over like a year. It's all like old stuff.
I mean, I've tried those what is it? Vermilion? The Vermilion?
Yeah,
Vermilion? I've tried those before. They're good.
That's rockfish.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But not like Brian big old redfish.
That's a vermilion.
The redfish are vermilion rockfish.
Oh,
that's the actual name of them.
The more you know, right? Shit, don't stop yelling at me.
Who?
Yeah, who? Stop yelling at him. He likes it.
So what's your biggest halibut you ever caught?
I was just about to ask that. Brian, what's the biggest halibut you've ever caught?
Hold on. I've got a more important question. What's the biggest halibut you've ever caught?
Don't you dare.
I couldn't even tell you guys. I don't even.
Just show us with your hands.
Yeah, we'll guess from there.
To be honest, you won't see it.
Oh yeah.
That's like 70. That's 80 at that point. That's a solid 80.
No, dude,
you know
really,
what? Just so you know, that's the answer I was expecting.
You're like, yep, right there.
A lot of people ask, like, what's the biggest spotty? It's like I don't keep any measuring devices. I don't keep any scales or anything.
You just go fish.
I just get out there and I'll go fish. I mean, I think the largest spotty I ever got was in Alamitos Bay, and that was from the shore pounding. Some dude actually came by and he's like, he wanted to keep it and take it home and eat. And I was like, no, big girl's going back.
No eating here.
No,
eating here.
My wife and I went down to undisclosed locations on some docks that had a squid light, and we are fishing for white sea bass, and you could actually see them. And she had, I don't think she had her big rod, she had a trout rod, and she got broke off like instantly. It was just the real shot. She was on it for a while. I threw all my gear down. I went over there to grab it from her, and not grab it from her, but kind of help her out. And it went under the dock through a piling, broke her off.
Damn.
Gave her my rod, and she hooked up again, and that one also got broke off. But that's
some days it's just their days.
Yeah,
they
win.
win.
That'd be a good feeling though.
To get one and run.
It's exciting, for sure. Yeah, I think just to me the adventure of going out, like the best fishing is the adventure. You're waking up at 3-4 in the morning. You're packing all your bags. You're getting out there. You get out on the boat. The sun's not up yet. You're getting bait. It's 5 a.m. You're pounding a beer. You're heading across the water. You're looking out on the ocean, and there's dolphins, there's whales, there's everything. You get to your location. You catch fish. Like that whole set of events is just what makes fishing worth it. You know, that's what gets me addicted to it. You know,
keep going back and back and back, right?
Yeah, I mean,
there's this moment where you've left the break wall behind that you just can't replicate. Like once you get out there, man.
Yeah, no, it's a unique feeling, and for those who haven't felt it, get on a cheap charter, get out there, you know, or go on the Artemis Charters. Like get out there. Just being on the water is just something else, you know, and there's something mysterious about it. There's something, you know, that really kind of makes you feel back to nature. You're back to where you're from. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's the best part. That's the feeling that everybody chases, even if you're just shore pounding or whatever. Just getting in the water. In
LA, it kind of is our wilderness.
Yeah.
Well, what's what I feel like people should start doing is getting addicted even to the skunk. Because you see a lot of these people like, oh, I got skunked today. Oh, I got skunked today. It's like a negative almost connotation to not catch any fish. It's like, nah, get addicted to it all. To like what you're saying, to the prelude, to like the thought of it, to the actual action, to even to the meditation of the thinking about it afterwards. Because that's what's the fun part is you go, all right. And it's like I actually went to the channel really like just the other day, 4 a.m., probably 3 a.m. And oh my gosh, nighttime is just more terrifying in general. I mean, every little like
Yeah.
little
You're like,
crackle
oh, what?
and bush.
You're like, what is
Yeah,
that?
and I'm out there by myself, like, please don't be anything scary. And then you have like
You
the
know,
swamp behind you and all that stuff.
you
But I
know
mean, it's so nice.
what's funny is I tend to not like watching in the dark. I like to get out there in the daytime and
To catch
assess
the dark.
everything with the
Yeah.
light and go into dark. But you're right. It's just a little creepier when it's already dark.
Dude,
I
so
know, yeah, where I can't
Like when you're being an idiot launching at 2 a.m.
no, it's a different feeling, man, to be out there like dock fishing, right? You're like the creeks in the dock, like the dock creaking, going up and down in the tide. You know,
No.
there's nothing like it,
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, you're like, what is it? And then you catch like on your side vision, you're like, what was that? And it's like a bird flying by, you know, big pterodactyl, blue.
Have any of you guys been out and seen coyotes when you're fishing? I was gonna say I've had coyotes near me.
I've seen them in MDR.
I've come face to face with coyotes, and I'm just like standing there. I'm like, "Don't you dare! Don't you dare!"
Well,
And then
He's probably
we're
more scared
both
of.
frozen because we're
He's
both
probably more
scared of
scared of
each
you than
other.
you are. Than he is. Yeah, he's probably more scared of you than you are of him.
what's funny
Yeah,
is
but
over in
I'm still
MDR.
terrified.
Over in MDR, there's this dog everyone knows named COVID. It's a German Shepherd that runs around. And I've had it before where in my head, I'm like, oh, COVID's over there. And then I look and it's like, there's this coyote looking back at me like, that's not COVID. That's not my buddy.
Yeah, there's
So
coyotes
Bryon,
where I go, I hope you're not hungry enough to try this.
when are
Just
we
like-
expect? When should we expect that new issue to come out? If you're,
I'm trying to push it out before the end of the year. Like I said, I don't really have deadlines or dates or anything.
yeah,
I don't want to wait too long. You know, I don't want to put one out every year. I'd like to put more out. You know.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's all the pages are filled. So I just have a couple ideas that I want to see if I can get in there and then put it out. You know, I'd love to put it out somewhere in October, maybe.
and then
Also
are you
the
guys going to
glory of
offer like
working man.
advertisement?
I did the first one, and then Real Happy got in it, but this one I just didn't have any more room, and I'm just gonna keep it at that. There's no more room for advertisements. There's no more room. That's one of the things that I kind of disliked about a lot of the fishing magazines, where it's it's
All advertisement,
and it's like you got to get
dude. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Unless they're cool, because there's I was like, okay, if you wanna do it, I'll design it, and it'll be just give me all your information. I'll design it, put it in it. You know?
Oh, that way aesthetically it all matches up.
Exactly.
Right, like you don't want like a clean like Shimano ad in there.
No.
Not that I'm knocking Shimano. They've got crisp ads.
Yeah.
Shimano is crisp.
Shimano, if you want to advertise in Fishbone, give him all the stuff and he'll make it work.
Yeah, Shimano.
And that's how artists work in general.
Whoever else wants to go. But yeah, it's like I'd rather design it and not have it clash too hard, where it's like, I don't know, Joe's Crab Shack, and it's just like their standard version they send to every single magazine. I'm not interested in that, you know what I mean? And I'm not really making too much profit off it. It's just kind of covering the cost. So Yeah, but there's been plenty of people that I've talked to that it's like, if you want to run the ad, yeah, you might do it, but it'll cost this much, you know. And,
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of don't, like I said, I don't want anybody to really mess with the style of it. So,
Yeah, because then it's no longer the passion project.
right, exactly. And then it just becomes another magazine. I don't want it to be just
Now you're just catering to other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
in
how
5
do I
years,
get?
and I have a whole bunch of slips with magazines in it, and he's keeping it in a binder. You know what I mean?
I want to know how I get a full body shot of me holding a fish, to where they can open up the magazine and it just goes, and then potentially you fold it open and it's a whole poster.
I'll tell you how. You get butt naked.
Let me know how we can run that.
Hold it over your private parts. I will.
Dude, can you imagine that?
Hey, I'll photocopy them.
Can you catch spotties that small?
He's gonna hold a spotty over. He's gonna hold a spotty over his.
I'll get a C star. I'll get a C star to do that.
Do it.
That's crazy, dude. If
you're down on
that would be crazy. But man,
I gotta ask my wife before I can do something like that.
So why would you bring it up? Like you can't do it?
Not if I'm, just have a C star. There's a contract there.
She's got to be the one to take the photos. That's how you come.
Luke used to take pictures, so Luke's gonna be the one taking the picture.
As long as they're tasteful, we might be able to get it.
No, that's cool.
Hey, who knows?
You're like, it's not inappropriate. It's French.
It potentially could lead into
We're doing European photography.
Yeah, it could lead into 12 shots, a full calendar of just Dahlin baits.
So, Bryon, are there still issues on the site?
Yeah, there's some left on there. Yeah.
All right, guys, make sure you guys pick up a copy. Fishbone Magazine copy. Daniel just posted the website. Easy to remember. www.fishbonemagazine.com. Pick up a copy. They got koozies.
They have koozies, shirts. You guys can get everything that you possibly need ready to go. All in all, we're excited to have Bryon on because it's always fun. Bryon, you're like a local, the local head right now. I'm so stoked on it. I'm excited for, what's to come, especially issue 2 and then furthermore.
So on and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next issue is going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of people in it. So
I'm looking forward to it, man.
I'm excited to see what you do with, your videography aspects and YouTube and everything from there too.
Yeah.
So once that happens, then we're going to have to really get you on to help promote that and, get those going.
Yeah, I was telling Charly, if you guys want graphics or anything, hit me up. I'll do some.
Absolutely. We'll have to reconvene on that because that is an absolute yes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That would be cool.
All right, you guys, it's my wife's birthday. I gotta go. But Charly,
guys, thank you guys for staying this long. All you guys that stayed this long, we love you guys. Appreciate your support. Bryon, thank you for hopping on. Yeah. As always, guys, what fuels it all is our love for fishing, and that's why we do what we do. Thank you guys. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Bryon, thanks a lot again. Love you guys.
Peace out.
See you guys.
Thank you.